You heard yesterday that Mrs. Monroe and I were going to come in and do a special lesson with you, right? And this is the book that we read. Wow, familiar with our story. This is the story about the wizard. I have a special question for you. I want you to think about. Okay, so listen very carefully. Do you think asking questions about a non-fiction book is going to be the same or different than asking questions about a fiction book? Because we've been asking questions since the beginning of the year, right? We've been asking and answering questions. But we haven't done it with a non-fiction book. Let's back up. What's a non-fiction book? So we make sure we clarify that.
Ooh, I need to see more hands.
What's a non-fiction book?
What's a non-fiction book?
No, think fiction and non-fiction. What's a non-fiction? Put your hand up if you know, really high. You know. Non-fiction.
Do you know fiction and non-fiction? Raise your hand. Do you know fiction? Okay. Do you? All right. Nice.
Jerry, what is it?
Non-fiction is real and fiction is fake.
Yes. Non-fiction is about real stuff. Fiction is about a story that's made up, right?
Give me a thumbs up if you knew that. If that's what you did when you raised your hand. Nice job. Good job.
So let's go to our question. Do you think asking and answering questions is going to be the same about this book than any other book we've done? What do you think? Give me a yes, I think it's going to be the same. No, I think it's going to be different. I don't know, in the middle.
You're not sure.
See all thumbs. Yeah, it's probably going to be the same. No, it's probably going to be different. Or, I don't know.
Matthew, you think it's going to be the same? Tell us why. What would be the same? We want to have a helper. Tell him, Carter, what might be the same, and then you tell me if this is what you were thinking, okay?
They would be the same because they're both a story and you're both asking questions, but different questions.
Okay, so the questions are just different. Do you agree with that? Good. Good job.
Now in this, you would use the question words. What are our question words?
I can help with that. Repeat after me. Who? What? Where? When? Why? How? I want to see your hands with me. Ready? Get your 5 W's ready. We're going to say it together, and then we're going to do our how. And there are many more question words than these. These are just a few to start with. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Loud and clear voice. Here we go. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. And here they are. We use them every day. Nice job.
And we're going to use the same ones today when we use this different story. Just a different story. All right.
Now let's look at our goal. Who would like to read the goal to us today? Oh, look at all these helpers. Nice job. Carter, I'm going to pick you. Go ahead.
I can ask and answer questions such as who, what, where, when, why, and how to demonstrate understanding of key details in an informational text.
What does that mean to you? What are we going to do? That's a lot of words, isn't it? What are we going to do, Brady?
What are we going to do you think?
We're going to answer the questions.
Yes.
We're going to answer questions. What else are we going to do, Brady?
Ask questions.
And answer. And key details, those will be the facts. Do you agree? And informational text, fiction or nonfiction?
Non-fiction.
I think we're ready.
You guys got it. Okay, let's look at our scale real quick. All right. 0. I cannot ask or answer a question yet, even without. Guess what? You guys have showed me no one in here is at a 0 right now.
Good.
Check that one off the list. We have done this all year long, and you showed me that you can at least ask or answer one question. All right, let's go to number 1. I cannot determine the difference between asking and answering a question. I can ask or answer the questions with help, and I can match questions. So if you have a question and an answer, can you match them together? Okay, so that's a 1.
Let's
A
move them
2.
in.
I can determine the difference between asking and answering a question. So you can identify the key details in informational text, and you can ask a question or you can answer a question.
The author asked us a question when he used this book. Where do polar bears live? That's a question. I have some clues so that I know it's a question. For example, it ends with what? It does end with a question mark, so that would be the first part. I can ask the question, but can you answer it? Everybody read this story yesterday. Can you answer that question? Where do polar bears live? If you know the answer to that, turn and tell your partner. Where do they live? Antarctica. We're there. Okay, I need to clarify. Some of you are saying Antarctica. That's the South Pole. Now, do you have a different word?
North.
Oh, it's not South Pole. It's not Antarctica. Try it again. Tell them where you think it is. Ready? Where is this happening? Arctic. The Arctic. Would you tell the whole class that? All right. Would you tell us where this story takes place? In the Arctic. Do you agree?
Yes.
So what did you just do in this rubric? What did you just do?
Ask and identify.
You asked the question and you answered the question. If you can do that, you're a 2.
All right, let's see number 3. Now, we've got a beautiful target up here because remember, this is our goal for 2nd grade. When you leave here, I hope everybody has at least had a 3.
Yep.
Okay?
Let's read it together, everybody.
All right, here we go.
I can ask and answer questions such as who, what, where, when, why, and how to demonstrate understanding of key details in an informational text.
Woo! So that's asking and answering a question. And when we say to demonstrate understanding, that means that you understand what you're reading. You're comprehending and thinking about it.
And here's what it means in kid language. You're going to show us. Demonstrate means you're going to show it. And today you're going to show it by talking about it and writing about it. Think about that. All right.
All right. Well, some of you might be thinking, I'm going to try this number 4. I feel like I'm pretty good here. If you're ready for a challenge today and you're strong here, you might be ready for number 4. Number 4 is you're doing the same thing. You're generating those questions, who, what, where, when, why, how, but you're doing what with it? What's that J word?
Justify.
You're justifying. We talked a little bit about justifying. That means that you're using your answers and you're justifying. You're telling why.
Can you say this with me? Justify, tell why. Say it again. Justify, tell why. I hear some rhyming in there. Do you?
Yes.
That will make you think about, are you justifying or are you demonstrating? They are different.
So if I say, is it cold where polar bears live? Are you going to say yes?
No.
You're going to say what? I think it's cold
Because
what could you tell me?
they live in the
There's
Arctic.
ice, there's snow, they live in the Arctic. Those are all good reasons.
And let me justify it for you. And I know it's cold because this thermometer is showing a temperature below 0. That is different than just saying it's cold. I justified it using pictures and text to prove my answer. So if you're justifying, you're also proving and you're telling why and telling how you know that answer. You might be doing some inferencing in this, boys and girls. The answers might not be just right there. You might have to think about it and figure out why is the correct answer the answer that you're going to think about. Now I want you to think about what we just talked about with this scale. And I want you to think about where you are today. We know you're not at 0, so let's go up the ladder. 1. 2. 3. 4.
Yes.
Well, we're not sure. I'll put them at our target today because that's that who, what, where, when, why stuff. Let's try it again. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. And as soon as you know what you're going to do today, go write it on the sticky note at your desk. What are you today? Go write it at your desk. That's how you're going to tell us.
And remember, you pick for yourself. You can hide it if you want with your hands. Pick your number. Where do you feel comfortable about asking and answering questions?
With their initials.
As soon as you're done writing your number, and it can be small, I would like you to put your initials way down in the corner, and they can be really small.
Hey, Jerry.
Okay?
Put your initial in the corner. Nice job, Matthew.
Initials should be way down in the corner, really small. So if you need to find your post-it note later to move it, you can find yours because your initials are on it. Okay? Then listen very carefully for directions.
Which one? Pick one today.
I'm going to dismiss you by
That's a
group.
tough
You're going
one.
to come up and put it where you feel like you are.
Because I'm
So if you
actually
pick
at
the
the
4 today, you're putting it in the 4.
Right now you are?
If you pick the 3, you're putting it in the 3.
Nice job.
2 and 1. And then you are going to go find your teacher that's going to help you with your questioning today. If you pick the 4, you're going to go over to the side table. If you pick the 3 today, you're meeting up front on the carpet. You might need to get something hard to write on, so grab a whiteboard on the way up. If you pick the 2, you're meeting Miss Lauren over by the window with the whiteboard as well. And if you pick the 1, you're going to be sitting, let's sit by Miss Saxon over there on the steps. Okay, let's have groups 1 and 2 and 3 come on up. Put your Post-it note on, get your pencil, and go meet your teacher. Group 4 can go up.
Nice job. You're not sure?
Group 5 can go up. You will need a pencil when you go to your teacher in the group. And group 6. Grab a pencil and go meet your teacher.
Matthew, I'm going to take you. Rhett. Roland, I'm going to take you. Rhett and Roland. And who else said that they were a 3? That's a really big group.
Okay, group 3s, come on up.
Yep.
We have kind of a big group, so we'll maybe split into 2 groups, okay?
You come with me, Matthew.
Okay.
Rhett, you come with me. Evelyn, come with me. Brady, come with me.
I need to go get a whiteboard.
We're going to go. We're going to go with Mrs. Lindell. No, we're going to go out in the hall.
How many do you have?
Jerry, come with me. Yep, come with me. We're just breaking that group into 2. 2, 4, 6, 2. So I'm going to break them into even groups. So let's see. Marie.
And I can sit with this one.
Yep, Marie, come with me. Okay, we're going to go work in the hall. Follow me, guys. All right, grab a pencil and follow me. Okay, you may sit in this area. Have a seat. And the first thing we're going to do is put our name on our paper and mark our score in the box at the top. Matthew, I'm going to have you sit on the side over here, please. You're going to share this desk. Thank you. Brady, would you share that desk? Marie, you're going to sit right by me. All right, now, I need to make sure everybody wrote 3 in their paper. Did everybody write 3? Brady, what would you like, a pencil? Thank you for sharing. You can use this one. All right, what does that mean? You're 3. What does that mean? Name in 3. What does it mean, Evelyn?
You can ask and answer questions.
All right, and today we're demonstrating. That's what it says. Jerry's looking at this pretty closely. You're asking and answering questions, and we're demonstrating. That means that we're going to show that we can do it. You're going to show me, and you're going to show the group. Now, to get started, I'm going to let Roland roll the dice just to start to get us going on our questioning. What word did you get? Who? Can you think of a who question about this book? Who is the author? That's a great question. It doesn't even have to be about the story. Who is the author? Do you agree that's a good question? Okay, now everybody think of your own who question. Write who in the box. If you're not sure how to spell it, go ahead and look at the paper or look at your resources on the smartboard. And you can think of your own who question as well. That was a great who question. Who is the author? Now, how are you going to figure that out? How are you going to figure out your answer?
Looking at the book.
Where are you going to find that? Show me. Okay. Now, Evelyn, you tell Matthew his answer, your question. You tell Roland your question about who. And Jerry, you tell Marie. Who are the characters? That's a great one. Who is the illustrator? Another good question. What do you have? If that Pentel is not working good, we'll get you a new pencil. Okay, let's trade it out. There you go. We'll get it back, I promise. Who is the illustrator? Now, who has their question done? Oh my goodness, I'll get you a better one than that. I had a whole bunch in my bucket and then I lost them.
Who's the author?
Who is the author is another good question. Who is done writing their question? Tell me what you did at the end.
The illustrator.
Oh, I noticed you just added something. Tell the group what you just added and why.
Added question mark.
Mm-hmm. Why did you do that?
Because at the end it goes to have an.
Questions end with question marks. Did you all do that?
I think I know.
Check your partner and see if they did. Character. C-H. I'll write it on here for you. How do you think it's spelled? Air.
A-R.
Mm-hmm. What do you hear at the end? Character.
E-R.
Very nice. All right, now you're going to trade with Matthew. You have to answer his question. You have to prove that you know how to answer, which is part of our number 3. You have to show me you can answer that question. If you can't think of the answer, you get to refer back to the text to find the answer. All right, tell me your question. What are you looking for, Roland? What's your question say? Who is the author? Or that's illustrator. What do you think? Where can you find that answer?
Oh, I know where I can find the answer.
Good.
Evelyn, look here.
Did you put your question mark at the end, friend? Actually, Marie, I would like to change this question to where is Dad? What happens to the dad or the boy polar bears in this story? What happens to the dads? Do you remember? Let's find the page that talks about what happens to the dads. Evelyn, I like how you're looking in that book. What are you doing right now, Brady? Are you finding the answers to that question? You already wrote it? We have a tricky question over here. I'd like Mr. Jerry to tell the question. Say the question to the group. All right, ready?
Where is the dad?
Where is the dad? What does the story say? Where is he? Do we know for sure? What do we know about him?
He doesn't take care of
He
him.
doesn't take care of them, so where is he? Where is he, Matthew?
Probably out alone looking for food to take care of himself.
Right. He is probably out alone somewhere in the North Pole Arctic area.
He's probably sleeping.
I'm guessing that's a good chance that he's probably sleeping because in the winter they have to live off their blubber. Why isn't he helping Mom?
Because he goes to find food.
Actually,
The mother goes to find
you're thinking penguins. Dad doesn't help at all. This is how it works with polar bears. Mom is sleeping in the middle of winter and the cubs come out. Let's go back to that page where they're blind. Look at the middle of winter. Mom has the cubs. They come out blind and then they sleep there for 2 months before they do anything else. They're blind and helpless. So they just eat and drink.
They just lay around and.
Yeah. And why do you think they're laying around so close to Mama?
Because they want to be warm and they don't have a thick coat yet.
Yeah, they have to stay close to Mama to stay fur. Do you realize how many answers you just gave me?
Do you know how much people can steal them and stuff?
Well, that kind of goes back to the dad question. Where is Dad? Why isn't he here? Think about it. Why isn't he here, Roland? Does he have anything to do with keeping them warm? No. Is he able to feed them? No. The author is right here, Sarah. So, now that you gave me all of those answers, you have to generate another question on your paper.
Sarah?
If it helps you to roll the dice, roll the dice. If you already have one, go ahead and write it. The author is Sarah Thompson, if that's the word you're looking for. So let's write a complete sentence. The author...
Never.
Ooh, that's a good question. When is he coming back? Write your question with a capital letter. And then trade papers with somebody new after you have written your next question. And make sure it ends with what, Jerry?
A question.
What should it start with? A capital letter. Who are the characters? Polar bears, right? Tell me what you were going to say. Polar bears are the characters. Okay. What's your next question? I will get you one. Oh, right here. Thank you. Okay, what's your next question? Well, let's think about some question words we could use. What's a question word you could use? Where? Give me a question word you could use.
What?
What? Give me a what question. What? What are you thinking? Oh, a nice question. When is the dad coming back? You better trade that. Somebody is ready to answer that. Put your question mark.
What is the mother doing?
What is the mother doing? Great question. Write it. What is the mother doing?
This is not my face.
That's okay. Where is the dad? Where is he? We're not sure, but we think far away because do you know that polar bear dads are hungry and they'll eat anything? So what? Well, in the Arctic, are you going to find a snake?
No.
No. So why do you think Mama Bear does not want him near the cubs?
Because he might eat it.
He might. So that's why he has to leave, because we don't want him eating the cubs. He doesn't understand. It's their children. It's different.
Eating the cubs?
Well, he might. He's hungry. There's not a lot of food.
It was like real life, we're the persons, and like we always come back from coffee corner or something.
Yep.
But that's not how it happens.
Exactly. They have to find their own food. And here's my question for the group. What do polar bears eat? You can find it in the book. You can use my question. Now, is seals a complete sentence?
They eat seals.
They eat seals. Nice job. Or polar bears eat seals. That's a nice job. Do you need any help with that, Brady? Are you doing okay? Now, you might have somebody else's paper right now, and that's okay, as long as you get yours back at the end. Okay? As long as you get it back at the end. Now, are there other question words we could use other than the 5 W's? Who, what, where, when, why, and how? Do you know any other question words?
When?
Other question words other than those. Do you know another question word? Is. Do you know another question word? Do. Can you tell me another question word? Think about this. Can you tell me another question word? What am I asking you? Can you tell me another question word? You went like this. That means you gave me an answer, which means I asked you, I asked him a question, and what word did I start with? Can. Can you? Yes, I am.
It is about. Is it about polar bears? It is about polar bears.
She's saying is a question word. Is it cold in the North Pole?
Yes.
Yes, there's another question word than is.
It's cold in the Arctic and North Pole. Wherever there's snow, it's cold.
And I'm glad you're using Arctic and not Antarctic. That's very important. Look at all these questions we've written. Wow. Now, let's check. Are we a 4? 4 means we justified, we did tell why with because and so. Have we done that yet?
No.
We haven't. But could we?
Why is it cold in the Arctic?
Why is it cold in the Arctic? Let's try to justify that one. Who's got an answer for it using a justify word? Why is it cold in the Arctic? Jerry?
I know. Because it's snowing.
Okay, so if you use a complete sentence, it would be, it is cold. Answer the question. It is cold. What word are we going to add next? What word are we going to add next? Justifying. It is cold.
And
Look on here. What word are we going to use? I'm not going to tell you. It is cold. Using words such as because and so.
And it is cold. It is cold, and I see because it's supposed to be cold and
No, there's a page in here that explains why. Do you remember where it is? It's way up there. Why is it so cold there? Yes.
because it's up high
It's
and it's very cold up there.
It's very far north, far away from the equator. We talked about that in the book. The equator is where it's the hottest. That's where the sun is the closest to the earth. And so this is the farthest away in the winter. So that is why. So if we were justifying, we'd put that word because in. We don't have to worry about that today, but it's something we can think about for the future. Look at the questions you're writing. Now, did you write another new question? Trade papers. Wow. Let's check your sentences. That's awesome. Who is the author? The author is Sarah. What do we need at the end? Period? Yep. What do polar bears eat? Doesn't. Do does? They eat seals. What goes at the end of that sentence? Excellent.
How do you spell Arctic?
Arctic, right here. Arctic. Well, anything that's meat or plants. Okay, go ahead. Why doesn't? Now we do N, apostrophe, T, and an E in here. Doesn't. Now you're doing very good 3 work. Very, very good 3 work. Is anybody here at a 4? Are we?
I'm kind of in the middle of a 3 and a 4.
Tell me why.
Because I'm figuring out how to.
So you're showing me, you're demonstrating it. So then why aren't you a 4? What do you have to do to be a 4? Justify means? Means tell why. And are you telling why? Not yet. You're showing, so you're still at that 3, and that's fine. You're still at that 3. At the end of the lesson, we're going to decide if we're at 3 or a 4. Okay, are you ready to trade? Still at a 3. Nice. Who has another question? Because I like that you traded papers and came up with somebody else's answers. It means you're a real thinker.
Oh, I thought this was my own paper.
It is. Nice. Nice job. All right. Go ahead and do one more on the back.
It is not by the equator.
Because it's not by the equator, you justified. Good job. Write your question and trade. Just a little information for you as my coach. 2 of these students are in my Title I reading class. They're in my reading class. I've got struggling readers and I hate to say non-readers at this point, but they're both in the group that's pretty high, and they are really getting this. So I wasn't expecting that.
That's exciting.
For the title, yeah. So this is who I work with every day, but they're higher than I thought. So it's awesome. Okay, what's your next question? Remember, if you just can't decide, roll the dice. Let the dice help you.
I wrote 1.
What'd you get? Where? You already did where? Do you want to re-roll? Oh, no, you didn't. You didn't win. Where?
Where is the equator?
Where is the equator? That's a good question. Let's find it.
Polar bears.
Where's the page with the equator?
Bears.
Have you heard the word equator before when Mrs. Cook has been reading?
No.
You haven't?
I didn't hear because I was at a different place.
All right. Well, we've been talking a little bit. This actually goes into global warming, that some of our pages are running out. Now, the equator is this line right here in the middle. It's the imaginary line that cuts the Earth from the north to the south.
This is right now, that's way back.
Yeah, there was a lot more Arctic areas, and now it's getting warmer, so it's melting. So the equator's in the middle of the Earth. Oh my goodness. That is a great question, Matthew. What if the Arctic keeps melting? That is an amazing question. What's your answer to that? What's anybody's answer to that?
What do you think? Then the polar bears will become extinct.
Or what might happen before extinct?
Die?
What might happen before then, though? Will they just die off right away?
No.
What's going to happen before that? The food supply will get less, you're right.
Hold on.
Yes. Hold on. I'm holding on.
Snow has to be really wet so then they can hide under seal holes. So then, but if the snow keeps melting there, then the seals will be able to see the polar bears waiting for food.
So how many polar bears might be going for a seal in a big area?
And then they might die because they have no food.
Right. So how many polar bears might be going for that seal right now?
Like 10 or something?
And then if it gets smaller, how many are going for that seal?
One or
Like
two.
one or two or three.
Right. And are they gonna, some of them will starve, right?
Starve to death.
To death. And which go into that other word extinct you just used. All right, if you have a good question, go ahead and trade it. Matthew, are you ready to trade?
Yep.
Brady, are you ready to trade?
My question is,
Jerry's ready to trade. Jerry and Brady get to trade this time. Okay, read his question and Roland, do you need help?
my question is, what do polar bears do there?
When? Are you using that one this time? Or you can use one of those other words. Is, can, does.
Friends, we're going to have groups finish up in about the next minute. As you finish up in your group, talk to your group leader, and if you're feeling like you maybe need to move your post-it note after working today, feel free to do that, and then meet me back up on the card.
All right, so what I need you to do now is think about your three.
Okay,
Remind me what the scales. It's okay. It's okay because here's why. Mrs. Cook and I both know we don't have enough time to do the whole paper today because we're on a shorter time schedule. We will finish this later, but I want to go back to your three. Are you still a three?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm at a 4 now.
Could you be a 4? Did you justify your answers? Okay, if you think you're a 4, you can write it. If you think you're still a 3, circle it. Okay, just show me where you are now.
3 times 4.
In,
Kinda like
in the middle? Okay.
I'm a 4.
Tell me why you're a 4. Did you justify? You did on that one, but did you justify on the whole page? So what are you really then? A 3. Go ahead. So you don't have to move yours. And Evelyn, you don't have to move yours. You don't have to move yours. Now, if we were truly a 4, you would move your sticky note. But we decided we haven't really justified all of the answers. Right? Now, when you, Brady, you just told me you think you're a 4. Tell me why.
Because I justified it.
How did you do that?
I told you all the answers and I showed it.
How? What words did you use to justify?
I did how, when, where.
Let me tell you right now, you didn't justify because you didn't use because and so. So you're still 3. But you might be a 4 next time. All right.
I can't read this.
What is it by, where is it by the, I can't read that one either, but I'm going to take these. I don't think anybody here has to move their sticky. That's fine. Go up to the front. You did an awesome job. Wow, lots of hard work. Way so much hard work.
I can't move my legs. Where's my paper?
Up to the front you go. Thank you. Do you want to meet after school? Or tell me when you're available and I'll let you know. Yeah?
Actually, it's Wednesday. I make me with my mentor, mentee.
Do you want to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning or afternoon, which works best
Both.
for you.
I'm open for both. I just want to go to that funeral.
Should we do it in the morning then?
7:40, I'll come to you.
7:40, come to me.
Okay. 7:40. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
See? Wow! Look how most kids feeling like they're in the 3s and the 4s right now. I even see some 3s that are kind of over here. 3s and 4s. I see some 2s, that moved up and now they're feeling like 3s. That's awesome. Let's go back to our question. Do you think asking and answering a question about fiction versus nonfiction is different?
No.
I heard a no. Is that you? Ruby, tell us why not.
It doesn't seem different because you're asking questions and you're answering questions.
You're asking questions and you're answering questions. I could ask a question, who is the main character in this story? And that's my who question. Could I say, who is the animal we're going to learn about in this book? Right? They're both who questions. You are right. We are just asking questions. That's all we're doing. We're just using a different kind of book.
Right. Good job.
Very nice.
Now, is there anybody that wasn't sure when we voted at the beginning who has a different answer? Who else? Alex? What were you at the beginning? You were not sure?
Yeah.
Now what are you? Do the questions still start with question words? Do they still end with a certain punctuation mark?
Yeah.
Would you draw that for me on the carpet? So can you remind me how questions end? Okay, Matthew, I didn't see you write anything on the carpet with your imaginary pen. Yeah? Did all of you do one of these? So questions all started with a question word. They all ended with a question mark. And what about the answers? Go ahead, tell us, Alex. They did. They told us a complete sentence and they ended with a period.
And all the questions and answers were about the same. They were about the book, whatever book you were given.
Right. Now this lesson went so well, I'm actually thinking about another punctuation mark that would show how well I think this lesson went. Draw it on the carpet. Let me see what you drew. Woo, that's a big one. Good. What did you draw? What did you draw? Exclamation mark. That's how I'm feeling about this lesson. Are you feeling that way too? Tell your partner your favorite part of the lesson.
Asking and answering questions.
No, were you pretty good at it? Were you able to do it? Yes. Were you good at it? Did you share?
All right, you worked very hard. Give yourself a pat on the back. Nice job. Your sub will be back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to say you get a couple of minutes of some quiet.
Nice job. Jody, I have the mic. Do you want me to keep it in my hand?